Gencon has been playing with the woke fire for years. It's been a complete disaster over there, and I've been reporting on it. One of the few YouTube channels that actually covers what these conventions do to just regular people. It's really sad. I mean, it should get more coverage because these companies that run this stuff really need to be shamed. A lot of them have banned great people just from being there. Gencon is no exception. Origins Game Fair is another one owned by the same company. It banned Larry Correia from Baen Books for no reason. We know Con Carolina's banned John Ringo from Baen Books. Kevin Sorbo got banned from a East Coast Comic Con. This is what they do. Of course, I was banned from the World Science Fiction Convention. That's one of my claims to fame. One of my scalps I claimed when I sued them for libel and won. But this needs to be done more often. We need to push back legally against these groups. We need to push back socially because what's happening is these SJWs, like this guy right here, are really going crazy. And their vocalness and their loudness in the community, while we've been largely silent in board games and tabletop gaming for a long, long time, have led to where we're at right now. And so I got to say, don't be silent. Don't be scared. If they ban you, great. Of course, the Dice... Oh, yeah, it was banned from the Dice Tower Con, too. Tom Vassell is a SJW prick himself. I've got more on that. I'll cover that on the Dice Tower did something crazy again, which I'll cover tomorrow on the channel. But this is going to be a follow-up to my Gen Con video. If you don't know what's going on, it appears that Gen Con stands for Genocide Con. Yes, this board gaming and tabletop convention is literally making genocide. These SJWs just hyperventilate about so much, and that's what they do. They hyperventilate, and then these companies take action just based on this, thinking that's where the audience is. That's why we have to be loud. Now, this story came the other day, and what happened was they have an award ceremony called the Crit Awards, and the Crit Awards made a whole requirement, of course, against racist, sexist, biggest, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic phobics, as usual. But they also added in there this thing like, if you support Zionism or support something that looks like it's supporting Zionism, I mean, you are not eligible for this award. So I'm sitting here like, wow, they just literally said Jews are not allowed to get awards with their company. This is something Gen Con supports and endorsed. So what happened was they got a lot of pushback because of that. Because, they always call us Nazis, but it's kind of literal Nazi rhetoric right there. Not going to lie. And so Gen Con's like, we're not doing this. We're not having the awards on site. Sorry. We're getting, it's too much risk of violence. And so because they don't want to risk violence or anything ruining their convention, which again is just about board gaming and tabletop gaming. It's not a political conference, you turds. The SJWs are going nuts, and they're trying to cancel Gen Con now, which is the funniest thing because Gen Con's virtue signaled so hard to them over the years. It's absolutely crazy. We'll get into the news in just a moment. My name is John Delarose. I am a #1 best-selling comic creator, and I've done some work for different games in the past as well, both RPG and board game flavor stuff. And this is going to be my graphic novel, The Hidden Emperor, coming to Kickstarter probably July 11th. This is going to look like my launch date, somewhere around there, depending on some personal things over here. And this is going to be awesome. We had our huge success, Overmind, a sci-fi graphic novel in 2022. This is the follow-up. It is a standalone story, and you can get Overmind on here also. And we've just got big news that we're going to finally make our first leather-bound comic. So I've teamed with a bindery from Archaven Comics, and we are going to make the coolest comic book ever produced, in my opinion. A leather-bound comic. This is going to be amazing. So please, you can get a regular edition too, of course. But hit notify me on launch. This is going to be in the description below. And thanks for supporting the channel, guys. I really appreciate being able to create art independently, away from these people. And it's all because of viewers like you. And thank you so much. So please, and also hit the like and subscribe button if you're new here, because I'd love to have you in our community. I appreciate real gamers and not these weirdos who are trying to ruin gamings all the way around. So here's some stuff. All the love to the Crit Awards. The silence from Gen Con is deafening. And, of course, my whole chest and waving flag, I say, free Palestine, love and respect to the Crit Awards. So here's their additional statement after they've been removed from Gen Con because their group, probably was going to have problems with violence. I Gencon made the correct move. Over the past few days, we've seen an outpouring of the community support for the Crit Awards, which is this support means to us is indescribable. We want to take a moment to address the situation as clearly as we can. So this is interesting. What I've looked at, because I've been following the threads on X all week, just kind of laughing at this. It's a bunch of nobody clout chasing accounts trying to capitalize off this, basically, and trying to like get attention as pretending to be like political victims or whatnot, which I don't understand because none of these people are Palestinian, of course. But they say over the past few days, we've seen an outpouring of community support for the Crit Awards. How much this support means to us is indescribable. I've mostly seen people mocking you for trying to cancel Jews, personally, because I think it's pretty funny. We want to take a moment to address the situation as clearly as we can. When our finalists went live on June 14th, we were alerted to a concern about one of our nominees that had been previously associated with an actual play group. Due to the nature of the concerns. So what? Okay, so they're gobbledygook SJWing here. So somebody was associated with somebody else who they don't like, I guess, politically, and that is a bad thing. This is how they ruin games. You can't even be associated with a play group of a game because of their politics leanings. Otherwise, you're gonna be screwed. The nominee was contacted about the removal of the nomination, so they actually did remove somebody because they were playing with a play group of people in gaming that they don't approve of. This is insane high school level shit. I mean, I can't reiterate how dumb this is. A person who is getting an award for a game because of gaming, is going to be removed from that potential award because they played games with the wrong people? What the hell are you people doing? This is nuts. Respectfully, without issue by both parties involved. On Monday, June 24th, Ivy, what, is that a real name? Doubt. Was alerted by my staff to a situation that was breaking out that required emergency attention. Our various social media presences were being targeted by a group of people who deemed our stances as against their own, and they felt the need to use hostility to make the point known. Oh, they're the victims here. We're going to ban Jews. We got pushback for that. Oh no, these hostile people. Can you believe this? It's painful. This resulted in an onslaught of harassment. Oh no. The harassment card. Oh no, against my staff. And again, this is just people quote tweeting them is because what they said was so absurd. Myself and those we strive to recognize with the awards. On the 24th, we received an email from a member of Gencon staff requesting a phone call. Blah, blah. We want to emphasize this particular staff member was kind and apologetic, both in the situation and the need to facilitate the phone call. Yeah, I mean, you guys are playing with fire here. And again, just let people play freaking games. You're always about diversity and inclusivity. Just include people who might have different political opinions or religious opinions than you assholes. Just shut up and let people play a dwarf or an elf or whatever. It's just freaking D&D. Why do you have to gatekeep? It's so obnoxious. My God. We were presented with a series of options as we evaluated the situation and the choices. It became clear it would be not possible for the Crit Awards to return to Gen Con 2024. Ha! So all these lies about the SJW, this is another lie from it. Gen Con didn't tell them they couldn't return. Gen Con made them, they were going to ask for security, I'm guessing, and they didn't want to pay for it. So they made the decision not to return because they wouldn't play by Gen Con's rules. Ha! A lie again. We're caught every single time, guys. It's always a lie. It's always a double down. It's always projection with these people. Every single time. We confirmed the decision of withdrawal from the few options after. They withdrew from Gen Con. Gen Con didn't cancel them. They lied. Of course they didn't. Gen Con's woke as hell. Our priority is the safety of us and our nominees. We stand by the opinions we have publicly expressed. We believe this is the best explained by the problem is, and we do not condone harassment, violence, or terrorism. Wait, you're siding with Hamas. What are you talking about? Not that Israel. I'm not a big Israel supporter either, guys. So don't get me wrong. But just like Trump said the other night, just let them blow each other up. It's not our business. Zionism is a movement that has historically weaponized the support of the establishment and maintenance of an Israeli apartheid. I guess that's what Gencon is now. Wait, are they saying Gencon's controlled by the Jews? Huh. Interesting. We take issue with the pro-imperialist, anti-Semitic rhetoric. Wait, what? You're the one with the anti-Semitic rhetoric, you retards. Oh, geez. We support a free Palestine, denounce the genocide that's been occurring. Very funny. And of course, they lock their comments because they're scared of any pushback whatsoever. They can't take any criticism. The Crit Awards can't take criticism. Pretty ironic right there. But here you go, guys. They lied. Gencon didn't cancel them. They canceled themselves, and they worked up a SJW mob just because they want Gencon to make political statements. But Gencon is no good either, guys. Let's make sure. I made a thread this morning, and I'll put this in the description along with my book link. So this should go viral on X, because everybody needs to know how bad Gencon is. They threatened to leave Indiana because Mike Pence was a vocal Christian as governor. That was real. 2, they banned the quartering for getting sucker punched by a trans activist, Matt Fantastic, covering for someone who did violence. They literally did this. They banned Jeff Burgeon from TGG Games, who's one of the biggest retailers out there and a game publisher, because he's a known Trump supporter. They gave him no real reason. 4, they had a draconian vax and mask mandate even after those were shut down everywhere else. 5, they continually push LGBTQ DEI content above everything else. And 6, they host a mentally ill leftist agitator posing as a sci-fi writer, known as Patrick S. Tomlinson, for their Writers' Symposium every year. And 7, the latest controversy with this awards here, which they didn't even tell the awards to go away. So this is something that people need to be aware of, like what Gencon actually is. You can see here's their rainbow pride flag crap. These people are just eating their own, and they're all disgusting, and they all need to leave gamers alone. That's all. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to check out The Hidden Emperor on Kickstarter, which is right here. We'll be back soon.